Hello home learners, it's Fantastic Friday. Hope you're having a lovely day and have had a lovely week so far. We're going to carry on with our English learning on Moana, and yesterday, or if you did it before that, we did work on some on verbs, and we're going to carry on learning about verbs today as well. So without further ado, we're going to begin our learning. Here she is, the lovely Moana. So much to learn from her and her lovely story. So she says, can I identify verbs? Can I write a sentence using a verb? Now yesterday, or whenever you were doing this work at home, you would have been planning your sentences. You would have been picking up those verbs from your special bag or special pile, and you've been picking out characters from the film, and you've been practicing and writing your sentences. And today we're actually going to do some writing, proper writing with your sentences. So let's move on. Now, in the lesson prior to this, we talked about our special chant called the think it, say it, write it, check it chant. And we use this quite a lot in our English learning to help us write accurate sentences. Now, in order to make our sentences accurate, I have also given you a list, sort of like a checklist of steps to success to make sure that your sentence is in line with our learning objective today about using a verb in your sentence. So the first thing I'd like you to be able to do is say your sentence out loud using a verb. So it says, I can say a sentence out loud using a verb. And if you can do that, you give yourself a little tick next to that sentence. And then it says, I can write a sentence using capital letters and finger spaces. Now, some of you would remember that when Miss Doe or Miss Pope, Miss Hawkes or I have marked your work, we would have done a little finger space symbol for you. So that would have been your target. So one of the other really important steps is to make sure that your words have finger spaces between them so that it's easy for the reader or your teacher to read it. Okay? So using capital letters in the appropriate place and finger spaces between words. That's your next step. Then it says, I can write a sentence using full stops at the end. Now that's quite important because a full stop tells you when a sentence has ended and a new one is about to start. So it's quite an important symbol of punctuation in a sentence. Okay? So that's step number 3. Then, going back to our learning last week, you can definitely write a sentence using an adjective. Okay, we have done that last week, and you maybe have been practicing it at home as well. So you can write a sentence using an adjective, and if you can do that, give yourself a tick for that sentence as well. Finally, our learning objective for today is I can write an accurate sentence using a verb. Okay, so all of these little steps to tick off and making sure right at the end you're using that all-important verb which you need to hammer in as we write. Okay, so before we move on into our learning, I'd like you to have a little brain break. You can, as I said in the previous video, go to the loo if you need a little break, toilet break. You can have a quick drink, a quick biscuit if your parents allow it. You might want to have a quick run around your garden, or go up and down your stairs, or challenge yourself and see if you can count up to a certain number, say count up to 150 if you can, or you could even do 150 star jumps. That's going to be a big challenge, but it's going to have to be a quick break, so have that and come back as quick as you can because we've got lots of exciting learning to do. Excellent. Now that you're back, we are going to make up our sentences. Over here in front of me, I have got a sentence strip. Now you should have that in your learning pack for your homework in English this week. So it says here, who. That's what your sentence is going to start with. It'll be a character from the film. Doing what? That is the verb bit of your sentence, okay? When, What time of the day? Was it morning, evening, afternoon? What time of the day was it? Where? A place where this is happening. Okay? So you've got who, doing what, when, and where. Okay? Now for each of these categories, you will have a sheet. Now for your doing what bit, your verb bit, you will already have had your verbs from the previous lesson for this week. Okay? So I hope you have them still. If you haven't, they still are available on the website. So you have a sheet for each of these. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to chop up the words and make them into little piles. So you'll have a who pile, a verb pile, a when pile, and a where pile. Okay, so hope you're with me so far. So you've got to have 4 different piles. Make sure you can label them. Your adult can help you. And as you go along, you're going to pick a little piece of paper from each pile to form your sentence. It would be easy for you if you had this sentence strip in front of you to help. So you've got who, so it could be maybe achieve TUI, doing what, the verb could be shouts, when, it could be morning, and then where could be in the island. Okay, sometimes it might be a silly place like the seashell. So if it's a silly sentence, that's absolutely fine, because that's what it's all about. It's all about having fun and having a laugh, but at the same time doing really important and amazing learning. So get yourself sorted with those little 4 piles of pieces of paper. Get yourself organised, and once you've done that, we can move on. Now, it's time to write our sentence. And I'm going to urge you to keep saying this in your head. You've got to think it, say it, write it, check it. Okay? Hopefully you've got your sentence strip in front of you, and you've got your who pile, your doing what verb pile, your when and your where piles all laid out, nicely organised in front of you. Now you're going to pick up a little piece from this pile, this pile, this pile, and this pile, and you're going to write your sentence. It doesn't matter if it's a silly sentence. That's what it's all about. I cannot wait to see your writing. But before you go, I want to show you my sentence. Okay, so I had Sina. Sina is Moana's mum, and the verb I got was cooks, and the when was in the morning. Oh, that sentence looks good already. Sina cooks in the morning, and my where was at the beach. Full stop. Can you see that sentence has already helped make sense? So I've got my who, which is Sina, Moana's mum, cooks, which is my verb. I'm going to hammer it as I say it. In the morning at the beach. Full stop. So there's my sentence. You might want to come up with a silly sentence if you find a silly where or a when in your pile. So have a go at it. Have fun doing it. Remember to think it, say it, write it, check it. And I am looking forward to seeing your work. Okay, good luck, have fun, and be happy.